In this video, I'm going to disclose a little-known Medicare rule called the Hold Harmless Provision, which will probably save you a lot of money in the years to come. Coming up next on Holy Schmidt.
Holy Schmidt!
If you're new to the channel, hi, my name is Jeff. I'm a CPA turned author turned public speaker. I started this channel in 2020, really at the request of my daughter. She saw me helping some relatives with their finances, giving them advice and helping them straighten out their own financial situation. And she said, "Dad, if you can help them, can't you help others as well? The world is not in a great place right now, and there might be a lot of people who need your help." And with that, the channel was born. Today, we have over 375,000 subscribers, over 60 million views, over 5 million hours of watch time, and we would love it if you become part of our YouTube family. Simply click subscribe and turn on notification, and you will be alerted the next time we post a video. We post 3 or 4 times a week. A few days ago, someone made a comment on the channel. He said, "Hey Jeff, could you possibly do a video on the Social Security Hold Harmless rule? I just read about it on Yahoo Finance. It reads, in part, not everyone will feel the squeeze. Under Social Security Hold Harmless rules, a person's Part B premium increase cannot be larger than their COLA increase. Eligibility is limited to those who have their Part B premiums deducted directly from their Social Security benefits and do not pay a higher premium due to income. There's a special provision called the Hold Harmless Rule, which prevents your Social Security check from going down year over year because Medicare Part B premium has gone up. The provision basically says that if your Social Security cost of living adjustment is less than the increase in Medicare Part B, the increase in Medicare Part B will be capped so your Social Security payment doesn't go down. Now, there are a few very important exceptions to this, and we'll get into those in a minute, but let me give you a very real 2026 example. For 2026, the Social Security cost of living adjustment went up 2.8%. The Medicare Part B premium went up 9.7%, so the Medicare Part B increase was 3.5 times more than the Social Security increase. Now you say, how can this happen? Shouldn't they both be sourced from the same information? Well, the fact is that's not the case. The increase in your cost of living adjustment is based on general overall inflation. It's often called the Consumer Price Index. The increase in your Medicare Part B premium is based on medical inflation and 3 other variables. The offset is that most people's Social Security payment is multiple times larger than their Medicare Part B premium, so that even if your Social Security payment only goes up 2.8%, the dollar increase is usually higher than the dollar increase in your Medicare Part B premium. So if your Social Security payment went up, say, $54 in 2026, and the Medicare Part B premium increased by $17, $54 is larger than $17, and so therefore you won't be protected by the Hold Harmless provision. Now at this point, a lot of you are saying, why am I even watching this video? It doesn't apply to me. Well, the fact is, if you're like most people, the Hold Harmless provision will protect you at least 4 or 5 times over, say, the remaining years you have in retirement. Let me explain. In the last 20 years, there were 3 zero COLA increase years, meaning that there was no inflation. That was 2010, 2011, and 2016. Were the Medicare Part B premium increases also zero? Not even close. They were actually very sizable in each one of those years. And even though the cost of living adjustment in 2010 was zero, the Medicare Part B increase was 14.6%. In 2011, it was 4.4%, and in 2016, it was 16.1%. So if you had no increase in your Social Security payment year over year, did the Hold Harmless rule protect you from paying a higher Part B premium? Well, the answer is, for most of you, absolutely. In 2010 and again in 2011, 72.5% of the people who were paying Medicare Part B premiums did not pay the increase. And in 2016, 70% did not pay the increase. And this is simply because the cost of living adjustment was zero and your Social Security payment can't go down year over year because of an increase in Medicare Part B premiums. Now, there are 3 very important exceptions to this, and that's what we're going to discuss next. Gang, between now and December 7th, we're in what's called the Medicare annual enrollment period. And the fact is, most plans change every single year. Even if you're happy with the plan you're on, you should check to see what changes are happening to your coverage for 2026. In fact, there was an article in the Wall Street Journal that said 1.2 million people were losing coverage altogether. On this channel, we only have 3 affiliate relationships. One is our trusted Medicare partner, Chapter. Chapter is the only Medicare advisor that looks at all plans nationwide to see if you have the best coverage for your specific situation. If you do, they'll tell you, and if not, they'll help you switch. Most importantly, it takes only 20 minutes of your time to talk to Chapter. It's totally free, and they save their clients an average of $1,100 per year. So if this is of interest to you, give them a call at 440-703-1224 to see if they can help. The first situation is if someone is affected by IRMAA rate increases and they have an IRMAA surcharge in 2026, for example. IRMAA stands for Income-Related Monthly Adjustment Amount. Basically, if your income from 2 years ago was higher than a certain threshold, you'll pay the Part B premium plus a surcharge. And the surcharge gets higher, the higher your income. And this is what the IRMAA surcharges looks like for someone who's married filing jointly in 2026. This is what the surcharge looks like for someone who's single in 2026. Again, this is based on 2024 income. So if I was single in 2026 and had a modified adjusted gross income of $125,000, I'd pay a $202.90 Medicare Part B premium plus an additional $81.20 for a total Part B premium of $284.10. Because I paid the IRMAA surcharge, in this case $81.20, I would not qualify for the Hold Harmless provision. The next situation is if you pay your Part B premium directly instead of having it deducted from your Social Security payment. And this happens when someone hasn't filed for Social Security yet. And frankly, it doesn't even have to be the whole year. It can be just 2 months, December and January. If December and January you wrote a check to pay for your Part B premium, then you don't qualify to get the protection for the Hold Harmless provision. And finally, if 2026, as an example, is the first year that you're actually receiving Medicare, then you don't qualify for the Hold Harmless provision, no matter what your income level is and no matter what your Social Security status is. Practically speaking, what this means is if I turn 65 in 2026, let's say it's March of 2026, and I start receiving Social Security in March of 2026, my Medicare premiums are paid directly from my Social Security amount. And let's just say that I have no other income, so I have no IRMAA surcharge. I still won't be able to benefit from that 2025 protection, the increase from 25 to 26. But if there's an increase in 2027 from the 2026 level and the same situation applies, in that instance, I am protected. Gang, I've got a question for you. How prepared are you for retirement? I'm not talking about just your finances. I'm talking about your finances, Social Security, where you're going to live, health care, and your overall well-being. What are you going to do in retirement? The list goes on and on and on. If you're like most people, the answer is you're probably less prepared than you think. And that's why I created the free Retirement Ready quiz. It's 15 questions. It takes 2 minutes. It's totally private and completely free. It's my free gift to you, in fact. If you go to holyschmidt.com/quiz, you can answer the quiz, and a 12-page report will be emailed to you instantly. And there's no catch. There's no credit card necessary. It's completely free. With all of those catches, who does it protect? Well, in zero COLA years, it protects about 70% of the Medicare population. In ordinary years, it protects those most in need. And that is the reason that this provision exists, frankly. Medicare Part B premiums went up $17 between 2025 and 2026. For a lot of people, that $17 increase might mean the difference between paying for medications or not, having groceries or not, paying for a tank of gas or not. The list goes on, but we're not talking about optional things in someone's life. And it's this group that benefits most during normal years. Now, how many people are we actually talking about? Well, there are 62 million people enrolled in Medicare Part A and B, and about 4 million of them will benefit from the Hold Harmless rule in 2026. But unfortunately, what they're not protected from is the insurance marketplace. So Medicare Advantage plans or Medigap plans increases, and those, there's not a provision that protects the retiree from increases in those costs. But the good news is that periodically throughout their retirement, they can go out and basically reprice their coverage because insurance companies raise prices. Insurance companies also lower prices. It depends a lot on the claims history in the region and a whole host of other things that really are beyond the scope of this video. So how do you know if you're impacted? Well, it's really simple. You check the size of your Social Security payment year over year and compare that to the size of your Medicare Part B increase year over year. If your Social Security increase is higher, you're not impacted. If your Social Security increase is lower, you're impacted. So what do you do if you are impacted? Well, the good news is that since your Part B premium is already deducted from your Social Security payment, you don't need to do anything. The Social Security Administration will do it for you. If you like this video, check out that video, the 5 big changes to Social Security in 2026. Also, if you have questions about Medicare, don't forget to give our partner at Chapter a call, 440-703-1224. This is Jeff Schmidt, and I will see you in that video right there.